Welcome all of you. Today again I present before you to discuss the property of the particles of a matter. Characteristic of the particles of a matter. Before this video I have discussed a matter is made up of very small particle. Second, also I have discussed about it, the particles of matter are motion continuously. These two characters I have discussed before this video. Okay, children, now the third characteristic of the particles of matter is particles of matters have space. You know, the whole things are made by particles. Whole things are made by the particles, which are either molecules or atoms. Between the two molecules, between the two small particles have a space which is called interparticle space. Otherwise it is also called intermolecular space. Interparticle gap, if you want to know with the help of experiment, then we take a cylindrical container, measuring cylindrical containers, and we take a small volume of water, and also we mark the level of water. Mark the level of water in the measuring cylinder. We take a small quantity of water in measuring cylinder, and also we mark the level of water. After this, we add 2 or 3 crystals of common salt or sugar in this cylindrical container, and after this we stir with the help of glass rod, and then we observe what the level of the solution. Why we call it the solutions? Because in measuring cylinder, water and also common salt. So common salt is soluble in water. So from the solution, we observe the level of the solution in measuring cylinder. Then we conclude no levels of solution is raised. It indicates that what the particles of common salts are shifted between the molecules of water. This experiment shows that what the particles of water have a space, have gap. So this gap, this space, this distance is called interparticle space. Here, suppose it is a substance, and here these are the small particles of this substance. Between the two small particles, the space is available, gap is available, the distance between them, which is called interparticle space or interparticular space. It is clear. Now we have to discuss the particles of matters attract to each other. Yes, we think the chalk, a piece of chalk, a piece of iron and also a piece of rubber. Three types of hair things. First is what? Piece of chalk and also what? Piece of iron and also piece of rubber. When we stretch the rubber, it is expanded. Then we can easily say that the force of attraction between them is less. But when we exert a force on the iron piece, it is not expanded. It is clear. The force of attraction between the small particles are more. Due to a strong interparticular force of attraction, the piece of iron is not expanded. It is clear. It means here, suppose here particles and also here particles, they attract to each other. Force of attraction here acting because both have mass. These two particles have mass. Due to mass, they attract to each other. And also, we know about between the two particles of a matter acting what? Van der Waals force. Van der Waals force. If the particles of matter have charged, positive charge or negative charge, that means the small particles of matter are ions, then they attract to each other if they have opposite charges. In common salt, you know the small particles NaCl on Na, sodium, have positive charge. Whenever we think about common salt, here Na plus and Cl also minus, it is the one molecule of NaCl, and also the another molecule of NaCl on sodium positive charge and Cl negative charge. So they attract to each other, Na plus of first molecules and also the Cl minus of the second molecules, they attract to each other with a force of attraction because Na plus and Cl minus, they have opposite charges, so they attract to each others. So here clear, due to mass, one particle attracts to another particle with a force of attraction. Due to mass is only force of attraction. And also you know van der Waals force, and also here if the particles have charge, then also they attract to each other with a force of attraction when they have opposite charge. It is clear that the particles of matters have space, and also the particles of matters attract to each other with a force of attraction which is called interparticular force. Now we want to conclude the characteristic of the particles of matters. Before this video, you know two characters are explained, but now here two characters. So interparticular space is what? The space between the two particles of a matter is called interparticle space or intermolecular space or intermolecular gap, interparticle distance. And the particles of matter attract to each other with a force of attraction. They attract to each other, which is called what? Interparticle force. Intermolecular force of attraction. They attract to each others. But here clearly listen, different matters have different interparticular space between the particles. If you think about the chalk, the particles have very less interparticular space, and intermolecular force of attraction is very strong. So particles are tightly bounded to each other and also closely packed. So the shape and size and volume all are definite. But when we think about the gases, just like oxygen gas, molecules, particles are far away to each other. So interparticular space is very large. Due to large space, interparticular force of attraction is very less. So the particles of oxygen gas easily move from one place to another place. So its shape, size, volume all are indefinite. So we can say that the states of matters depends upon the arrangements of the small particles. So here we want to conclude now these topics. After this video, we explain about the force of attraction, which is called interparticular force of attraction between the particles are different in different matters. The interparticular space are different in different matters after this video. So I want to close, I want to short this topic. Again, I will meet you after this video.